Hello, all my batlings. We are back into Forgive My Desires, Father. And we're picking up exactly where we left off. So if you haven't seen part 1, I suggest you fly on over there and check it out. Because we are diving right back in. Even when I was awake, the nightmare doesn't end. The voices will always follow me around. It was just something I had to live with. I shook my head, desperately trying to get the voices to go away. Sammy? What's wrong? Danny stepped out of the bedroom and hugged me from behind. You're up early. So were you. You suddenly screamed and got out of bed. How can I continue sleeping when I'm worried about you? So, what's troubling you? I just had a nightmare. What was it about? My mother. When I turned around to look at Danny, I gasped, because instead of my fiancé, my deceased mother was standing before me. You're filthy. No. Go away. My mother took a step forward. Don't come any closer. She raised her arm and reached her hand towards me. Don't hurt me. I panicked because I assumed she was out for revenge after what I had done to her. Yeah, he kinda, set the house on fire while she was sleeping inside. Yeah. Then her wrinkled hand caressed my cheek. Wait, but they don't feel wrinkled. Please calm down, Sammy. I won't hurt you. My mind snapped back to reality and I saw my fiancé once again. Nowhere was my mother in sight. Why? Why do I always see her whenever I'm around Danny lately? You definitely don't look fine. You should go see the doctor to get your prescriptions back. But I'm fine. I'm normal. I don't want to take medications. Boy, I think you need some medications. Especially at this point. Then I was suddenly reminded of the priest. Oh, he is getting his medications, but of a different kind. Ooh, okay. I kind of want to keep going down the dark route. He is your only medicine. He'll make you feel at peace. Yeah, he's your only medicine. That's right. I needed to get to church right away. There was no sermon today. When I realized the Father wasn't in sight, I started becoming agitated. Where are you? Feeling lost, I sat at the pew, trying to get this dreadful feeling to go away. I want to see you. My hands clasped together tightly as I lowered my head to pray. I needed to pray, since I was bothered by the demonic presence I had faced today. Mother, why do you keep appearing whenever I'm with Danny? Remember what you had done to your own mother. No, I did nothing. You killed her. No, I did not. I did not. Suddenly, I felt a hand on my shoulder. Are you alright, Samael? The voices in my head immediately vanished, and my face lit up from the sight before me. Father, how I yearn to see you. He carefully scanned my expression and frowned. You seem troubled. I am. The Father took a seat on the pew next to me and my heart jumped out of my chest. Do you want to confide your concerns to me? Yes, I want to tell you everything, Father. You see, my deceased mother has been on my mind lately. She's been constantly bothering me. Why is that? Do you feel guilt of some sort? Guilt? Yeah, I think that's guilt. I think that's guilt. No, I did nothing wrong, so there's no guilt at all. Though I do despise her greatly. For the entire duration of my childhood, till I was an adult, she had neglected me. All she cared about were the various lovers that she would bring home every night. All her love and attention were given to them, not to me. The only time my mother would speak to me was when she needed to order me around or scold me for the smallest of things. She was so filled with greed I never had the possessions other children had. Yet, items purchased for herself were all luxurious. I was all alone. I had no one. I was left to fend for myself at an early age. I'm sorry to hear that. Thinking about my childhood started to make my hands tremble. My breathing quickened and as panic slowly devoured me. The father noticed this and placed his hand on top of mine, his thumb slowly caressing my fingers, and I could feel myself calming down from his touch. Relax and take a deep breath. As always, his soothing voice brought peace into my soul. Your past may be terrible, but I believe it made you who you are today. Who I am today? How would you describe me as, Father? I think you are strong for enduring all these troubling moments from the past. I think you are a passionate young man. Hearing his compliments brought a smile to my face. Thank you. You never failed to make my heart feel at ease. Thank you truly, Father. You are most welcome. I hope you'll continue to stay strong, Samael. The priest began to flip through the pages in the Bible. Then he hovered his index finger over a specific verse. 2 Corinthians 12:10. That is why, for his sake, I delight in weakness, in insults, in hardships, in persecutions, in difficulties. For when I am weak, then I am strong. That is a great verse. Indeed, it is one of my favorites. I tend to recite it whenever I feel troubled. I should memorize it too, so I could stay strong whenever my mother enters my mind. She is deceased, is she not? It's time to move on from her. I'm trying, but it is really hard when I keep seeing her. Then, would you feel more ease if I were to bless her? Yes, I would like that. Okay, water break. The father held his hands together to pray, and I watched him intently. Come to me, all of you who labor and are overburdened, and I will give you rest. Shoulder my yoke and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble of heart, and you will find rest for your souls. Every word that came out of his lips was like music to my ears. The way he closed his eyes as he recited the prayer, everything was memorizing. My heart throbbed and I felt myself licking my lips. I could stare at him forever. Amen. Amen. It is very kind of you to offer to bless my mother when you didn't have to. It is my pleasure. My only wish is to make this world a better place by bringing peace and joy to the troubled. You're very kind, Father. Not at all. It is my duty. Is that why you became a priest? Partially, yes. The father nervously averted his eyes from me. Partly because I wanted to escape from falling into human desires. Love, hate, envy, lust. Everything that comes with being in a relationship. I wanted to get away from it all. But isn't falling in love worth it, regardless of all the negative aspects that come with it? Perhaps, but I always had a terrible luck when it comes to love, so I doubt I could have found my soulmate. You've certainly found a stalker. All my previous partners were manipulative and abusive in a way. Those experiences left a bad taste in my mouth. Oh, poor guy. But priesthood helped me escape from all my troubles. I no longer needed the love from another person because I have his. The priest stared up at the ceiling and I knew exactly what he meant. I could feel my anger rising as I sought revenge on all those horrid humans who hurt the father's feelings. But I knew he would preach forgiveness, so I tried my best to calm down. It's such a shame that your past relationships made you see love in a negative light. They are horrible people. I wish I could show you how love truly is. If it were me, I would have placed you on a pedestal. I would have treasured you, like how a king treats his dear queen. I tenderly held his hand and kissed his fingertips. I would have treated you well and showered you with all my affection and love, because you only deserve the best. Look at him blushing and also kind of confessing his love here. The father stared at me with wide eyes as his cheeks quickly turned into a shade of crimson. He let out a cough before withdrawing his hand away. Father, what's wrong? I'm pleased to hear you say that, Samael, but you have a fiancée. Surely you should spare those words to her and not me. No, those words are for you and only you, because, like I said, you deserve to be treated well. Thank you, Samael. It's very thoughtful of you. Your fiancé must be a lucky person to be with someone as considerate and caring as you. I stared at his flushed face and smiled. At this moment, I feel truly happy. And why is that? I'm glad you told me more about yourself. I always wanted to know more about you, Father. Before, I only talked about myself, and I barely knew anything about you. The father let out a chuckle before swiftly covering his mouth to hold it in. My dear Samael, I am a priest. It is my duty to listen to your troubles, not the other way around. Remember when you told me that in a relationship, both parties have to be mutual towards one another in order for it to work? That's why I wanted you to tell me more about yourself. But we're not in a relationship, are we? I frowned. I didn't like that he kept rejecting my advances. You're a good man to care this much about me, Samael. I appreciate it. Since he complimented me, a smile returned to my face. Andrew. I stared at him in disbelief, my mouth left agape. Is that your name? Indeed. We know his name! Oh, I can't remember if we learned it in the first game, but we know his name. He is Andrew. Ha ha ha. Indeed. You expressed that you wanted to know more about me. So, we shall start here. You may address me by my first name, if that pleases you. Oh, I think it really does please him. I mumbled his name under my breath. Every time I repeated it, my grin grew wider. His name rolled off my tongue perfectly, like it was destined for me to call out. Thank you, Father Andrew. You may remove the honorific. Just Andrew is fine with me. I was giddy with excitement. It felt like I was a step away from every other church patron. It felt like I was special. A yawn escaped from Andrew's lips, and he rubbed his eyes to keep himself awake. Are you tired? My apologies. I shouldn't have yawned. You don't have to be sorry. It's normal to be fatigued. Since it looks inappropriate to lie down on the pews, feel free to use my shoulder to lean on and take a rest. No, I shouldn't. I'm on duty. It's fine. There's no one else in the church beside us. I'll wake you up if there's a visitor. Still hesitant, he took a quick glance at the entrance. I suppose I should, since no one else is present. After convincing him, Andrew leaned his head on my shoulder. I could feel my heart beating loudly since he was so close. We were finally side by side, my body touching his. I watched his beautiful eyelids slowly close shut. His slightly parted lips made me wonder about what it would feel like if they were on mine. I could feel his breaths echoing in my ears. They were a delight to hear. A full minute barely passed before Andrew sat up. The lack of touch made me feel empty once again. not exhausted anymore? I couldn't rest since I could feel your strong pulse. My apologies, for I cannot control them. No, there's no need to apologize. Your heart was beating so fast that it kept him awake because he's like... Andrew gently pressed his palm against my chest. Your heart seems to be beating really fast. You must be very anxious. It made me realize you must have came to church today because you want to confess your sins, correct? Partially. I mostly wanted to see you. My heart was beating for you. Then let us go to confessionals. I will try my best to make you feel less anxious. What about your rest? Don't concern yourself with me. Helping you reduce your worries by listening to your troubles is my priority. Recalling my own duty no longer made me feel tired. We stood at the opposite end of the confessional booth. Remembering my infidelity, I was eager to get it off my chest. Oh yeah, at the end of the last part, he cheated. He cheated on his fiancée with his fiancée's best friend, who is a guy who definitely likes sleeping around and causing drama. Whew, I forgot about that. It made me feel disgusting, but I had hoped Andrew would ease my concerns. Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. Even when you gave me advice during my last visit, I failed to pull through. I ended up cheating on my fiancée with her best friend. My dear Samael, what have you done? Hearing the dismay in his tone made my heart drop. Is he upset with me? I don't want him to be disappointed in me. Do you despise me now? No, I don't. We humans tend to make mistakes on impulse. What you did was wrong. Infidelity is wrong. But what's right is that you're here, confessing your sins to me. As long as you repent, there will be forgiveness. A wave of relief immediately washed over me. I was glad he wasn't upset with me. Of course he wasn't. Andrew had always been gentle, so gentle. I'm pleased to hear that you don't despise me for what I've done. I can tell you're a good man, Samael. There's no reason for me to despise you. You are forgiven. A grin crept across my face. My heart was bursting with joy, and I knew that I had to thank him properly. I had an overwhelming urge to see him. No, not with his widescreen covering us. Can you please step outside, Andrew? You've been requesting this lately. Next time, let's have a face-to-face confession instead. The door to the booth creaked. I wasn't patient enough, so I quickly swung the door open. What's the matter, Samael? Seeing his face without anything between us was pure bliss. The more I gazed at Andrew, the more I desired him. I sunk into my urges and took a step forward. Samael? Oh, he gave him a hug. I thought he was going to kiss him for a minute, but aw. Hug, that's sweet. I wrapped my arms around the priest, enveloping the warmth of his body. What might you be doing? I tightened my grip, not wanting to let go. No, I never wanted to let go. I want him in my arms forever. Thank you for forgiving me. You're truly an angel who has descended from the heavens. A beautiful chuckle escaped from his lips. I am no angel. I'm a mere mortal with a duty. You always forgive me no matter what I do. You always make me feel better. Of course I will forgive you. All of us will cave into committing sins eventually. What matters is that we repent. You're right. I will repent. Thank you for always making me feel at ease. I must thank you as well. I've never truly felt this appreciated before. Oh, he definitely appreciates you, Father. You notice my efforts to make the world a better place. You make me feel cherished when no one else did. Silly of me, but it feels pleasant to be appreciated. Andrew's arm clutched me as he reappreciated my embrace. Okay, I'm tongue-tied at the moment. You guys can read that. Okay. His fingers stroked along my back. And appreciate you more, I shall. Tell him. Tell him the truth about the root desire of your infidelity. This was odd. Why are the voices present? Usually they would disappear whenever I'm around Andrew. But now they were louder than ever, echoing intensely in my head. Tell him. Tell him about your desires. Tell him. Oh yeah, while he was doing the naughty with his fiance's best friend, he was sleeping with the priest the entire time. So the persistent demand finally broke me. I pulled away from Andrew so I could stare deep into his eyes. Oh no. Oh no. Tell him you have feelings for him is a lot gentler way. So we're not going. But I'm trying to do the worst one. So tell him you are obsessed. Okay, we're gonna scare off poor Andrew, but I have something else to confess, and I fear you won't forgive me this time. Andrew stretched his hand towards me and caressed my shoulder. Don't look so down, Samael. I will always forgive you. After all, it is my duty to encourage forgiveness and repentance. His reassuring smile immediately made me feel at ease. I've been thinking about you lately. A lot, in fact. I think about you all day. I think about you all night. You are all that's on my mind. I held his hand and placed it on top of my chest. This heart beats for you. What are you trying to imply? I think you're fully aware of what I mean. I love you. I desire you. But you're engaged, and I'm a priest. I believe that love will overcome any obstacles. No, it's not possible. Andrew quickly snatched his hand away from me and turned his head to avoid my gaze. Please leave. But why? I'm sorry. I need to gather my thoughts. Alone. I think you should contemplate about your own feelings as well. You have a fiancé, for goodness sake. But I do truly love you. Please, say no more. It would be best if you could leave without uttering another word. Seeing how distraught he was, I decided to respect his wishes. It broke my heart to see him saddened over my confession. Why? Why wouldn't he love me back? Dark. Everything is dark. My life has always been this way. Filled with darkness. But when I experienced love for the first time, there's a small glimmer of light shining down from above. It felt warm, and I wanted more because I still felt cold. And then one day, it did. The light shining down on me grew larger when I saw him for the first time. The love of my life. Never have I felt this much affection and desire towards another individual. I wanted him so badly. But wait, why is he starting to fade? No, don't leave me. Please. I need you. Wait, stop. Don't go. I reached my hand out to grab him, but there was nothing. No! I quickly got up from the couch, heavy pants echoing through the room as I tried to catch my breath. I felt calmer, realizing I was in my living room. A nightmare. Just a horrible nightmare. My lap felt heavy, and I glanced down to see my fiancée resting her head on my thighs. I gently shook her shoulders to wake her up. Danny, why are you sleeping here? Slipping back into consciousness, she rubbed her eyes and stretched her arms. When you came home last night and fell asleep on the couch, I was so worried. I couldn't just let you sleep alone outside. I smiled at her. The fact that she's concerned for me meant she still loved me, and I appreciated that love. I'm willing to accept any form of love given to me. You've been acting weird lately. Is everything okay? No, everything is fine. The look of concern on her face caused me to feel a buildup of emotions inside my stomach. Unpleasant emotions. What a strange feeling. My heart clenched the more I stared into her eyes, so I averted my gaze. I wonder why if I felt uncomfortable. Is it because I no longer loved her? Could this be guilt? If anything's on your mind, I'll be there to listen. A large lump was stuck down my throat. It was easy to express my deepest worries to Andrew, but it was difficult to do so with Danny. Why is that? Your face is turning pale. Is everything all right? Suddenly, an image of my demonic mother flashed before my eyes. That's right. It's because I no longer see Danny in the same way I did before. I cursed at my mother under my breath. It was her fault that I'm experiencing strange emotions towards Danny. Then I recalled the day I visited her grave, the day where I first saw my beloved. But I wouldn't have met Andrew without you. Andrew? Who's Andrew? I didn't realize until now I was speaking my thoughts out loud. Ooh, that's not good. Oh, he's the priest of the church that I attend often. Is that so? It's no surprise that you'd get close to a pastor since you've been visiting the church lately. But why do you keep going there so often? Is he gonna actually tell her that he has an obsession with the priest? That is the question. To learn more about religion, I see my Sammy is becoming a devout man. I felt a pain in my chest. Why did I just lie? You're a liar. Liars are disgusting. You're becoming like your mother. No. It took me by surprise when Danny leaned forward and gave me a kiss. Her lips didn't give me the intoxicating rush as they once had. It felt stale. Oh, there's no more love. The kiss was revolting. Okay, we're continuing down the dark path here. You should tell her how you feel. No, I can't because I don't want her to leave me. Seems like Father doesn't love me. And Danny doesn't love me either. Who will? I wanted to be loved. I wanted it so badly. No, I needed to be loved. My fiancé pulled away and stared at me confused. Why didn't you move your lips? Sorry, Danny. I don't feel so good today. I tried to go on with my usual life, but I just couldn't. Every single thing reminded me of Andrew. I was reminded of our embrace, his laughter, his gentle voice, everything. The more I let my thoughts sink in, the more desperate and frustrated I became. You need him. Yes, I do need him. I must have him. Feeling determined yet distressed, I ran to the church. Uh-oh. When I entered the establishment, I glanced around in search of the father. My blood boiled when I spotted him conversing with other parishioners. My fist clenched from observing how Andrew chuckled when one of the men made a joke. Why are you smiling? What's so great about him that's making you smile like that? Why can't you only show that smile to me? Why can't it be me? My breathing quickened and my mind became muddled, as if an enormous dusty cloud fogged inside my brain. I couldn't think clearly. Andrew noticed my presence and locked eyes with me. Then he swiftly turned his head away, averting eye contact. Was he ignoring me? Were those patrons more important than me? Why won't he pay attention to me? He hates you. The ungodly voices flooded my brain. It was taking over every ounce of sensibility left in me. He hates you. No, stop. My suffering ended when the visitors left the church. I was glad that now it was only the two of us in the hall, my beloved and I. Andrew. The priest turned his back to me, making me furious all over again. Why? You brought it, didn't you? What are you talking about? Don't play dumb. You brought it. My hands started to tremble, and then I remembered grabbing an item from the kitchen out of impulse. Oh no! Oh no, I think I know which ending this is. Slowly, I reached into my bag and felt a pointy tip. I had brought a knife inside the bag. He doesn't love you back, so take his love with force. Take his love. I stared at the item in my hands as my heart pounded rapidly. Excited, are you? No. I don't know. You planned to kill him all along. No. I wasn't thinking straight when I grabbed the knife. You want to kill, don't you? This isn't your first time, after all. There was no use in denying because the voices in my head were more persistent than ever. Kill him, and he'll be yours. Mine. You could finally hold him in your arms as much as you desire. Yes, I want to hold him. A smile crept across my face as I watched my beloved from afar. Andrew, I love you. I want you to love me back too. The priest's back was still turned to me, so he didn't notice me approaching closer. I made sure that my footsteps were as quiet as possible. My heart thumped loudly when we were only a meter apart. Andrew was so close. So close to me. Just a few more steps and he'll be mine. I panted. This time it wasn't due to anxiety. It was because I was excited. No! Use the knife or don't use the knife. I don't want him to use the knife. I don't. But we gotta see the dark path. Feeling the rage burning inside me, I tightly gripped the handle of my knife. At the moment, Andrew turned around when he noticed my presence. Samael, did I not tell you to leave me? I do not wish to see you currently. His eyes quickly scanned me up and down before letting out a gasp. Why do you have a knife with you? Kill him. Make him yours. I love you so much. But why did you push me away? Why don't you love me back? Stab his heart. That's where it hurts. Well, wait, Samael, the truth is Before another word came out of his lips, I stabbed his chest. Blood began to ooze out and Andrew slowly collapsed to the floor. No! Why? There was no other choice. Because I'm aware that you would never love me back. You are mistaken, dear Samael. What do you mean? Andrew groaned as he attempted to suppress the bleeding wound. Oh no! With his blood-soaked hand, he reached out to touch my face. I guess I can express my feelings to you now. The truth is, I was starting to grow immense affections towards you. But why did you push me away? I was scared of catching feelings for you, since I was afraid of falling in love. And I had my vow to abide. And you were engaged. As a priest, I'm not allowed to come between you and your fiancé. But my attempt was futile, because I've already fallen for you. No way. What have I done? The realization of the sin I had committed finally start to settle. It had snapped me back to reality, and I was horrified with what I just did. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry for stabbing you. It's alright. I forgive you. Why would you forgive me for committing a terrible sin? Because I will always forgive you. You're hurting because of me. Fret not. Might be due to adrenaline, but it's starting to hurt less. As more blood oozes from his wound, Andrew's eyes drooped. No. Please, stay awake. Please don't go. I'll call the ambulance. No. I'm aware that I can't be saved. My vision is getting hazy. Please don't talk anymore. Save your strength. You can't die. You can't die here. Not when I know that you love me too. I'm afraid I'll have to leave you soon. This is all my fault. It's all my fault. No, it's mine. You were distressed because of me. I should have been gentle with you back then, instead of pushing you away. This is my fate, and I shall accept it. Your face is the last scene on the mortal world that I'll see. Please don't talk as if you're dying. You can't die. It's alright. I'll be waiting for you in heaven. No, stop. My only wish before I go is for you to live a happy life. Andrew's life was slipping away before my eyes, and there was nothing I could do. I love you, so please don't leave me. Please. Oh no! Oh! We killed him! Oh my gosh, that was... Oh! Oh no. Okay, we're gonna... Okay, I'm going to pick the same thing and then not use the knife. Wow, it goes so fast. Okay, let's not use the knife. Okay. Don't use the knife. I shouldn't. Kill him. No. Kill him. I said I won't. When I screamed, Andrew turned around to look at me. Samael, why are you here? I wanted to see you. Didn't I tell you to leave me alone yesterday? I don't want to see you. Please respect my wishes. Why? My fist clenched and my anger rose again. I hated that he was pushing me away. I hate it. Please don't ever come to this church anymore. For my sake. I didn't understand. Why is he so adamant about pushing me away? So he won't mess up your wedding. Because you have a relationship with a fiancé and he doesn't want to mess that up, and he's also catching feelings. Without thinking, I forcefully shoved him against a wall. Let go. You're hurting me. My hand located itself on his neck. Kill him. The voices were louder. They're more compelling than ever. I slowly squeezed his neck, watching the change in his expression turn to horror. Nothing that came out of his throat was audible anymore. I didn't want to hear what he had to say anyway, because his words would have only hurt me more. As I watched him squirm desperately under my touch, the more excited I became. I love you so much. Why won't you love me back? Gradually, Andrew's struggle began to cease as his face turned paler, till finally, he stopped moving completely. You killed him. The voice in my head snapped me back to reality. No longer feeling engaged, I quickly let go of my hold on Andrew and watched his body fall to the floor. He seemed like a mannequin without support. I poked his cheek, but he didn't respond to my touch. Andrew? Even when I called his name over and over, there was no reply. I used the opportunity to wrap my arms around him and let his head fall on my shoulder. Okay, is he dead or unconscious? I was finally able to touch him without him pushing me away. He was finally mine. He was finally mine. I love you. Andrew? The lack of response made me nervous. I love you. I squeezed him tighter, but he didn't feel the same as last time. It strangely felt like I was hugging a toy, not my beloved. Won't you say that you love me too? Please, talk to me. Please tell me that you love me back. No response. But it doesn't matter, because I will keep on loving you. We'll be together forever, right? You aren't rejecting me, so I assume you agree. Yes, you actually love me, don't you? I'm so glad. I'm overjoyed. I will always love you. Oh. Oh dear. Wow, we already got 2 of the endings. Look at that. Okay, okay, let's try a new game. I barged into the sacred building, but no one was in sight. Why is no one here? Why isn't he here? Panic settled in. He's hiding from you. No. I shook off my concerns. The rational side of me told me it's too early in the morning for anyone else to be present. That's right. It's not opening hours. I felt hopeless. Not being able to see my beloved right away made me feel hopeless. My breathing quickened and my mind was getting murky. It was getting harder for me to think straight. The only impulse I had was the urge to hold Andrew. How badly I wanted to see him. He hates you. I knew that submerging myself with the voices in my head won't do any good, so I stepped outside to take in the fresh air to clear my thoughts. I found myself hovering above my mother's grave yet again. This spot was special to me. I did not care this was the place where my mother's remains had been buried. It was special because this is where I first met my true love. Samael. Hope sparked when I heard a familiar, gentle voice. Andrew, you're here. A single tear escaped down my face, and I tried hard to hold back the rest. I did not want to look weak in front of him. You're talking to me. Thank goodness. I thought you hated me because of what I did last time. I do not hate you, Samael. I would never despise you. Then why did you push me away? Andrew nervously rubbed his palms together. Your confession took me by surprise, and I'm sorry if my words sounded harsh during that moment. Realizing he wasn't upset with me was an immense relief. Don't apologize. It's my fault. It was irrational action that made you feel troubled in the first place. But I don't want you to push me away, Andrew. Can we please go back to the way things were? I'll suppress my feelings for you if I have to. I just want to be with you, even if it's platonic. That's how much I care about you. Thank you. I never heard such deep, passionate feelings expressed towards me before, so I'm at a loss for words. I'm fine with our relationship staying platonic, and I wish for things to stay that way. Friend zoned. Well, it's good. He's a priest, and he's already stated that he doesn't want to deal with the relationships or the feelings attached to relationships. So this is actually respecting Andrew. Because Andrew turned his head away as his cheeks turned red. I was intrigued by this, so I held his chin to make him face me. Why are you blushing? Am I? I am, aren't I? The truth is, I don't want us to get any closer, Samael. Because I am afraid. What are you afraid of? Love? I fear that I might fall in love with you. My heart pounded. To see him flustered? To hear him say those words? I almost felt like jumping with joy. Love is nothing to be afraid of. You should embrace it all. But, please, love me. I will accept it wholly. I couldn't hold it anymore. My urges and desires were all too much for me to control. I let my body take over. Without thinking, I pressed my lips against his. It was better than what I had imagined. Soft to the touch, yet dry from the lack of moisture. But that's all right. I could always make them wet. My whole body tingled as I let myself drown in sweet tenderness. My chest felt like it was about to burst. I truly do love him. Andrew pulled away as he gasped for air. Still unsatisfied, I stared at his parted lips. We shouldn't. You responded to the kiss. You feel the same way, don't you? Our hearts clearly beat for each other. But we can't. Why? Every other couple in the world can be together. Why can't we? I had informed you yesterday, hadn't I? Is it because I'm engaged? I could break it off for you. I'll do anything to have you by my side. Andrew cast his head down and seemed even more upset. As a priest, I can't commend anything that would put your relationship in jeopardy. Don't think about your religious duties. For once, why don't you think about yourself? Please, try to be selfish. It's all right. Tell me what you want. Do you want to be with me? I'll be willing to do anything for you if you say yes. I held his hand and kissed his fingertips to show my affection. Do you not love your fiancé? No. You're the only person who I truly love. So tell me, do you want us to be together? My apologies, Samael, but I must stick to my religious principles. Therefore, I can't express my thoughts nor feelings towards you, as long as you're engaged. I see. But I do want you to be truthful to your fiancée. Tell her how you feel and decide for yourself. Who knows? Maybe then you can carve out the path to a future where we can be together? Perhaps. Only then will I be willing to open my heart. I kissed Andrew one more time before I left for my home. His words lingered on my mind. He was absolutely right. I should confront Danny about my feelings. Oh, here we go! My fiancée sat on the couch, taking a sip of her coffee. Ooh, there's a storm coming, girl, and you don't know it yet. Danny, we need to talk. What is it? I bit my lips, unsure of how to phrase my thoughts. Confrontation was going to be hard. She'll stop loving you if you tell her the truth. I know. Sammy, what do you want to tell me? I stared at her for a full minute. This was the person who I was supposed to wed. The person I had once loved. I took a deep breath to calm my nerves. Here we go. Sorry, I love someone else, or I picked our wedding date. Okay, I want to make the last row a good one, so, I'm going to pick the second one right now, so we can see what happens if he chose her, and then I'll come back and do the one where he chooses him, because I want to leave on a good one. I picked our wedding date. Really? But where did you get the money to afford the wedding? I was just thinking about holding a small private one to reduce expenses, if that's fine with you. I guess. though I would prefer something fancier. I won't mind if that's what you want, Sammy. I myself didn't understand why those words came out of my mouth. I did not want to marry her. Maybe because of the guilt I felt. Maybe because I was scared of losing her. My primary concern was, what am I going to tell Andrew? So, which wedding venue did you pick? I actually haven't picked out a location, but I didn't want to disappoint her, so I said the first spot that came to mind. I know a grand church nearby. You mean the church that you visit often? Yes. Have you requested the pastor there to officiate our wedding? What? Oh, silly Sammy. We need a priest to officiate a wedding. Right. I wonder if it's right for us to be wed right now. Are you sure you want to get married? What are you trying to imply? Nothing. Something feels off, but I guess I won't be too reluctant on the big day. Oh no. This is I knocked my headphones off. Oh no. Oh no. We gotta make Andrew marry us. This is so horrible. After confessing to him. I stepped inside the church with mixed feelings. On one hand, it elated me to get married, but the rational side of my brain asked me if I was going to spend the rest of my life with the right person, because I felt as though the right person for me is... Samael, what brings you here late at night? Andrew approached me, bearing that same gentle look on his face. It's past closing time, and I was just about to leave. I rushed here because I have something to tell you. If it's that urgent, does that mean you broke off your engagement? Oh, poor child. Poor child. We made him fall in love with us, now we're breaking his heart. Seeing the glimmer in his eyes broke my heart. I plan to marry my fiancé here, at this church. Andrew's face morphed into that of bewilderment. You're getting married? But did you not just confess to me mere moments ago? I did. I assumed you loved me after what you told me. Were you only trying to deceive me? No, what I spoke of was the truth. I really do have strong affections towards you. Then why are you getting wed? Because I still want to receive love from my fiancée. I don't think I can live without her. In her stead, I would have given you mine. Would that not have been sufficient? I don't know. Samael, I was prepared to open my heart to you. I thought I could allow myself to love again after all these years. But I guess this is my fate. I do truly have terrible luck when it comes to love and relationships. I'm sorry. I would always be the one who wound up getting hurt. That's why I didn't want to fall in love. It appears I was too late, because you have hurt me greatly, Samael. I am deeply hurt knowing that our kiss meant nothing. The look of sorrow on Andrew's face made me feel terrible. How could I cause grief to the person I love? I just wanted to feel desired, to be loved, but in the process, I caused him pain. Even when he was upset, his tone was still soft, and that made me feel even more horrible. He's a gentle person who doesn't deserve to be hurt. I was wondering if you could officiate our wedding. Okay, throwing some oil on that fire there. Oh no, this is painful. Ugh. Andrew stared at me with disbelief. How could you request that from me? Samael, haven't you already wounded me enough? But I don't want to request anyone else besides you. How could you be so cruel? Please don't misunderstand. I do love you. That's why you're the only person who I'd ever want to officiate my wedding. Andrew shook his head slowly, as if he was disappointed in me. I will accept your request, but only on one condition. What is it? I will do anything for you. After the wedding, please don't step inside this church or see me ever again. But why? Because you hurt him, son. It pains me to look at you, Samael. Please, don't give me any more grief. That was never my wish. Then please abide my request. I'm afraid I cannot forgive you this time. I could feel my hands tremble. I was horrified by the fact that I would not be able to see my beloved in the future. It's getting late. You should head back home to your loved one. Your fiancé must be waiting for you. There was spite in his tone, but our presence seemed to only bring him sorrow, so I left. I don't want to hurt my beloved. I really don't. Every passing day, my heart felt more and more unsettled. My voices were screaming at me, laughing at me, telling me I had made the wrong decision. Maybe they were right, but I wondered if it was too late to fix my mistake. You messed up like you always do. No, you'll never be truly happy for the rest of your life. No, you're wrong. I'll prove it to you. I can fix this. Today was the wedding rehearsal. I changed into my tux and stood by the altar. Andrew, being the officiant, was right beside me. The rehearsals hadn't begun since Danny was still dressing up, so I nervously waited for her while occasionally passing glances at the priest. You shouldn't be looking at me. You should be facing the hall, waiting for your future wife. Yes, I should. Andrew's tone was as cold as ice. My thumbs fidgeted. I was unsure if I was nervous because of the rehearsal or the priest standing next to me. I'm feeling anxious. Fret not. It is a normal occurrence for this kind of occasion. I think I might mess up. Can we quickly rehearse the wedding vows before my fiancé gets here? Andrew raised an eyebrow, but he eventually nodded and consented to my request. Samael, have you come here to enter into marriage without coercion, freely and wholeheartedly? I am. His left hand was holding the Bible, so I grabbed hold of his other free hand. What might you be doing? I don't have a partner to hold hands with currently. I hope I can hold yours instead. If that will fix your issue, then that is fine by me. Andrew took in a deep breath before continuing to recite the vows. Are you prepared to love and honor each other as long as you both shall live? I am. As Andrew delivered the wedding vows, I stared deep into his eyes. My mind was starting to get clearer. The person I wanted to honor and love for the rest of my life is standing right before me. I can't let him escape my grasp. Now it is your turn. Do you remember the line, Samael? Yes. This was my last chance. I knew I had to fix my mistake right there and then. I, Samael, take you, Andrew. Oh my God. Oh my God. To be my husband. I promise to be good to you in good times and in bad, in sickness and in health. I beg your pardon. I will love you and honor you for all the days of my life. After reciting my vows, I proceed to bring his hand up to my lips and kiss his fingertips. I don't care about the wedding anymore. I don't care about receiving love from anyone else anymore. The only person I want to love is you, Andrew. I promise to cherish you for the rest of my life. Are you certain? Yes, I love you. I'm still quite doubtful. Please, give me one more chance. I will never cause you grief ever again. I love you more than anything else in this entire world. I want us to be together. You desire that as well, right? Yes. But can I really trust you this time? You can. Please, believe me. Please. Fine, I shall give you another chance. I am prepared to hand my heart over to you. I ran down the church halls, still holding Andrew's hand as he tagged along from behind. Oh, that's so cute! Let's run away from here, together. Are you certain you want to be with me? I don't want you to live your life with regrets. Yes, you're the only one for me. I can't imagine anyone else by my side. Then I will gladly follow you. From today onwards, we're going to be together. I want to cherish you. I want to marry you. I want to start a family with you. My dear Samael, we have a whole future in front of us. I appreciate your enthusiasm, but let's just take it one step at a time. You're right, because we'll be together forever and ever, till we die. No, even in heaven we'll still be together. Oh, I thought that was going to be a bad ending, and it just turned out to be like a sweet ending. Oh, I love that he turned it around during like rehearsal and being like, wait. Okay. Okay, here we go. Sorry, I love someone else. I knew it. You do? You've been behaving strangely lately. You would stay out for hours, and worse, you don't hold me anymore. I'm sorry. I just didn't want to let you go. But you have to. It won't make me happy knowing that you don't love me anymore. Danny passed me a reassuring smile. She's actually taking this quite well. I thought you would be upset with me if you knew the truth. Initially I was. But then, I realized maybe we're moving too fast. We did get engaged after 2 months of dating after all. The fact that she didn't get mad at me made me feel like a terrible human being. I'm sorry. It's okay, Sammy. Hope things will work out with your new lover. The sun shining down on Danny made her seem heavenly for once. That was when I realized. She was nothing like my mother. I no longer see my mother in her. She was her very own individual. Finally, the haunting of my demonic mother had left. I smiled back at her. I hope you find someone who loves you as much as I once did. Thank you, Sammy. I hope you'll be happier now. After breaking off my engagement, I quickly removed my wedding ring from my finger. Now, there's one thing left to do. I ran back to the church in search of my one true love. There will be signs in the sun, the moon, the stars, and on the earth. Andrew was in the middle of a sermon, but I didn't care. I just wanted to talk to him so badly. I attempted to get his attention by waving at him, but it was futile. Distress among nations, confused by the roaring of the sea and the waves. My heart ached. I yearned to be with him desperately, that nothing around me mattered at that moment. Andrew, I love you. The father almost choked up in surprise before staring at me wide-eyed, face filled with bewilderment. All the other parishioners listening to the sermon also turned around to look at me, but I didn't care about them. I waved my hand frantically to show that I was no longer wearing a wet engagement ring. We can finally be together, right? Andrew chuckled before setting down the Bible he was holding. Pardon me, everyone. Please spare me a moment. He then approached me and grabbed my wrist before dragging me outside. All the church attendants stared at us, puzzled, but I didn't care. We are now outside, his hands still firmly holding on to me. We're finally alone. I can't believe you would yell in the middle of my sermon. Because I desperately wanted to talk to you. I intertwined my fingers with his. When we were connected, it felt like I'd found the missing puzzle piece I'd been searching for my entire life. I'm no longer engaged. Yes, I noticed your ring finger when you waved earlier. We can be together now, right? Andrew's brows furrowed, and I knew then he still has his concerns. Don't you want to be with me? Samael, I do feel strongly towards you, but I don't wish to forsake my holy vows. At that moment, it felt like my heart broke into pieces. Why couldn't I be with the love of my life? Why? Don't look so upset, my dear Samael. You have not yet heard the end of my decision. I have decided to resign from my duty as a priest. Are you sure? I believe that heavenly duties and earthly desires do not go hand in hand. Therefore, I do not wish to be in a committed relationship with you while in my priesthood. I want us to be together as an ordinary couple. That is what I desire. I would like that as well. My hand cupped his face as I admired the beautiful person before my eyes. I was finally able to call him mine. He's mine, and mine only. I can't believe you would willingly return to mortal life for me. Of course. I do cherish you, Samael. To hear those words finally come out of his lips was like ecstasy, like no other. Those 3 words I've been yearning to hear for so long. I love you. Everything from then on was perfect. A life more perfect than I could ever imagine. To be together with someone who I truly loved brought me happiness. True happiness that I once desperately desired. I have it all. And I wanted things to stay the same forever. Ever since Andrew returned to normal life, he started to work an ordinary job. Even though we only dated for a few weeks, I managed to convince him to move in with me. It's because I don't want to be apart from him. Every single second without him brought me misery, and I wanted him to be by my side as much as I possibly can. He's in normal clothes! Look at him! He's in normal clothes! That actually suits you! Samael, I have returned. I smiled brightly. I had been waiting for him to come home the whole day, because I had something special prepared for him. As soon as he removed his shoes and stepped into the living room, I threw myself into his arms. How I've missed you so. I've only been away for a few hours, but it seems like eternity. My mind was flooded with thoughts that someone else would be flirting with you. My dear Samael, have I not told you before that you're the only man for me? You have. Do you not trust me? I do. I do trust you. Then you have no reason to worry. I snuggled into his neck, inhaling the scent of his sweet cologne. Ah, that's right. I have something for you, Andrew. I withdrew a small diamond ring out of my pocket and slipped it onto my lover's ring finger. Ah! I want us to be together forever. Will you marry me? Andrew didn't respond for a few seconds. What's wrong? Do you want me to get down on one knee? No, that's not the problem. Then what's the matter? It hasn't even been a month since we started dating. And? You're already proposing to me? Because I love you so much. I want to show you my appreciation. And I'm thankful for that. But I wonder if we're moving and I'm thankful for that. But I wonder if we're moving just a bit too fast. Well, he did get engaged after only dating for 2 months. Danny. That won't matter, because I'm committed to treating you well for the rest of my life. I'm fully aware that you are my one true love. So please, hold on to that ring from now on. I want everyone to know that you're mine. If it pleases you, then I will wear it. I love you very much. I love you, Samael. Ah, and like that, we have all 4 endings. 2 good endings and 2 dark endings. Oh, excuse me. I enjoyed playing this. It was really cool to see Samael's point of view, because in Forgive My Sins, we saw it from the priestess point of view. And seeing it from Samael's point of view, we get to see what's going on in his head, some of his mental issues. It was really cool. And it being a little bit longer was amazing, because we got much more to the story. I really liked it. That was great. I'm definitely going to be playing more by Cheney MK. I still have to finish A Pack With Me. And there's some other ones that they have released recently that looks really nice. So I'm going to be playing them, and you guys should definitely check out, this game if you want to play it for yourself. And I'll have a link down below, and yeah, I highly recommend you check out the rest of Cheney's games as well. Alright, I think we're going to be leaving the story of our dear priest and stalker here. So, it has been a ride, but it's time for it to end. And I will see you in the next one. So, until then, bye bye.